Dr. Clyde Snow is known worldwide as an expert in forensics. He has even been reported as the father of forensic anthropology. Forensic anthropology is the application of science in the examination of human remains. Dr. Snow is now in his 80s and still travels around the world exhuming graves and testifying in trials. Clyde Snow was born in Fort Worth but grew up in Ralls. His father was the town doctor for many years. In an interview with Guardian Weekly, Snow attributes those early years traveling around the Ralls community for his interest in medicine and forensics.
My father was a country doctor out in West Texas, a very rural area, and very often I accompanied him on his cases. Some of them were violent deaths, so I became rather familiar with the whole process of life to death in my childhood years. As it turned out, it helped me, the things I learned from my father, in my work today involving skeletal remains of people from around the world.
During his career, Dr. Snow has taught anthropology and gradually built a reputation around the world. He has been asked to exhume and positively identify such famous people as President John F. Kennedy, the Egyptian king Tutankhamun, and Dr. Joseph Mengele, a Nazi fugitive who operated Auschwitz, a German death camp that killed thousands.
Of all the cases, what's the most interesting one you've worked on?
Well, in terms of ordinary criminal cases, as opposed to human rights cases, one of the most notable would be the case of John Wayne Gacy, the notable serial murderer in Chicago, who between 1973 and 1979 murdered 33 boys and young men and buried his victims under his house.
And what was it like coming face to face with people like Saddam Hussein and Chemical Ali in various court cases in which you've testified?
To me, it's always quite a dramatic experience to be in the same courtroom with people of this sort. My testimony concerned the genocidal campaign that Iraqi security forces under Saddam and Chemical Ali conducted against the Kurdish people. I got a question from Saddam Hussein. He pointed out that Iraq is full of mass graves. How do we know that the graves that he was finding in Kurdistan weren't those of Sumerians, many thousands of years old? I was just dying to answer the question, because what I was going to do was point out that although I knew the Sumerians had a rich civilization, I did not know it was so far advanced that many of them wore digital wristwatches, such as those that we found on these Kurdish skeletons. And I would find it even more curious why they were all stopped at or around August 28, 1988.
Having testifying in some of these cases around the world, how do you feel when the people involved are finally convicted of human rights crimes as a result of your expert testimony?
To me, it is a source of satisfaction, because it is possible for these people to be brought to court to answer for their crimes.
Dr. Snow has appeared in numerous Discovery Channel documentaries and has had a book written about him, Witnesses from the Grave, The Stories Bones Tell. As a world-famous scientist, Dr. Snow has always been very vocal about the role his early childhood in Ralls has played in his career.